Detective Aaron Cross had learned long ago that bad news never arrived during business hours. At 3:17 a.m., his phone vibrated on the nightstand. He didn't need to look at the screen to know it wasn't family or friends. Only death called this late. "Cross," he said, voice rough with sleep. "We've got a body," the dispatcher replied. "Female. Mid-30s. Found in a burnt-out sedan off mile marker 17 on Highway 64. Cross sat up. Cause of death? Unknown. Fire department says the fire was intentional. Ms. on the way. Cross swung his legs out of bed. Mile marker 17 again. It was the third major crime scene there in 5 years. That stretch of road had a way of swallowing secrets. "I'm on my way." The smell hit him first: gasoline, ash, and something darker. The car was a black Lexus, burned almost to the frame. Firefighters had already put it out, leaving steam rising into the cold night air. Red and blue lights painted the trees like a crime scene mural. Officer Lena Morales handed him a clipboard. Plates were removed. VIN partially melted, but we're working on it. Cross crouched near the driver's side door. Or what was left of it. Inside, the body was barely recognizable, charred, stiff, seatbelt still fastened. "That's not an accident," Cross muttered. Morales nodded. "Emmy says she was dead before the fire." Cross studied the position. No defensive wounds visible yet, but something felt off. Fires were messy. Criminals used them when they wanted to erase the truth. Too bad for them. Evidence never lies. By morning, they had an identity. Rachel Monroe. Age 34. Real estate consultant. Divorced. No children. Her last known address was a townhouse in downtown Cedar Falls. Cross drove there himself. The place was immaculate. Too immaculate. No photos on the walls. No clutter. No personality. People who lived real lives left messes behind. Cross opened her laptop on the kitchen counter. It had been wiped clean. Professionally. Someone wanted her erased, he said aloud. But erasing a life was harder than deleting files. Rachel's ex-husband, Daniel Monroe, arrived at the station just after noon. He wore grief well. Red eyes. Shaking hands. The right amount of sorrow. "I loved her," Daniel said softly. "Even after the divorce." Cross watched him carefully. "Where were you last night between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.? Daniel swallowed. "At home." "Alone?" "No alibi." "You two still in contact?" Cross asked. Daniel hesitated. "She called me yesterday. Said she was scared." "Scared of what?" "She didn't say." That hesitation lingered in the room like smoke. The MIS report came in faster than expected. Cause of death, blunt force trauma to the head. Time of death, around 11:40 p.m. But traffic cameras showed Rachel's Lexus entering Highway 64 at 12:18 a.m. That meant someone else was driving. Cross tapped the table. She was killed somewhere else. Then staged. Staging was the criminal's favorite lie. And lies always left fingerprints. A gas station 2 miles from mile marker 17 had a security camera facing the highway. The footage was grainy, but enough. At 12:11 a.m., Rachel's Lexus passed by. Driver, male. Passenger seat, empty. Cross paused the frame. The driver wore gloves. Smart, Cross muttered. Not smart enough. Because gloves didn't stop posture, height, or movement. And Cross recognized the way the man tilted his head. Rachel's phone records revealed dozens of calls to one number in the week before her death. Michael Hargreave. Property developer. Known for shady deals. Cross paid him a visit. Hargreave smiled too easily. Rachel was persistent. About what? Cross asked. A land deal near Highway 64. Mile marker 17. Everything always came back there. She found something, Hargreave said. I told her to walk away. Did she? Hargreave shrugged. Rachel wasn't the type. Cross requested old county records. What he found was buried deep, literally. 20 years earlier, the land near mile marker 17 had been part of an illegal toxic waste dump. Millions paid to keep it quiet. Rachel had uncovered it while working on a development proposal. That secret was worth killing for. But not by just one person. The fire destroyed most physical evidence. Most. Not all. In the burned Lexus, the lab found microscopic fibers embedded in the seatbelt, fibers from a wool overcoat. Daniel Monroe owned one. But that alone wasn't enough. Cross needed truth, not suspicion. Cross returned to the impound lot. The Lexus had a small dent near the rear bumper, too clean to be from the fire. Paint transfer analysis showed dark blue paint. Daniel drove a blue Ford Explorer. Coincidence was just evidence waiting to speak. Daniel sat straighter this time. You said you were home all night, Cross said calmly. Yes. Cross slid a photo across the table, the dent. Your SUV kissed Rachel's car last night. Daniel's jaw tightened. I was angry, Daniel snapped. She ruined my life. Did you kill her? Silence. Then Daniel laughed. You can't prove anything. Cross leaned forward. Evidence never lies, he said. Rachel's phone was found in a drainage ditch, untouched by fire. Someone wanted it gone, not destroyed. The last unsent draft message read, If anything happens to me, look at Daniel and Hargreave. People wrote their own epitaphs without knowing it. Under pressure, Hargreave cracked first. It was Daniel's idea, he confessed. He said Rachel was going to expose everything. What was your role? Cross asked. I helped move the body. That was enough. Daniel demanded a lawyer. But evidence doesn't care about lawyers. Blood spatter analysis placed Rachel's blood in Daniel's garage, cleaned but not erased. Cross stood outside the interrogation room, watching Daniel through the glass. He looked small now. The trial lasted 6 weeks. Defense attacked the investigation. Blamed circumstantial evidence. But evidence stacked higher than lies. Fibers. Paint. Phone records. Security footage. Confessions. The jury didn't need long. Guilty on all counts. Months later, Cross stood at mile marker 17. The road looked ordinary now. It always did after the truth came out. Morales joined him. You ever get tired of this? Cross shook his head. No, he said. Because evidence never lies. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying away secrets that had waited too long to be heard. And for once, the road stayed silent.